Hello, this is Mrs. Han. I'm going to help you do this photosynthesis and respiration lab. It's called Reactants and Products. So reactants are the ingredients, what goes into a process, and then products are what are made, what comes out. And hopefully you were able to see in this GIF that the reactants or the ingredients for cell respiration create these products. And then these products are then used for photosynthesis, and they make these products. So these are the reactants, and these are the products. And then these products become the reactants for cell respiration to make these products, which then become the reactants. So it's sort of like this is a nicer picture right here. So cell respiration produces products that are used for photosynthesis. Photosynthesis then produces products that are used as reactants for photosynthesis. Reactants are like ingredients. Okay, so we're going to be doing this lab. I'm redoing this video because it was laggy. Go ahead and print these out. I printed them at 60%, so they were a little smaller. And then you're going to open up this, and we're going to take a look at this lab together. Okay, so here is our scenario, and here is, first we're going to do photosynthesis. So photosynthesis uses carbon dioxide, water, and it makes glucose and oxygen. And actually, this energy should be over here because they use energy from the sun. So the whole reason that plants do photosynthesis is so that they can make their own food. They can make glucose for themselves. All right, so the way that we're going to do this is you're going to have once you cut out your atoms, so each one of these circles is an atom, circles are squares, and when we put them together, they become molecules. So a lot of the questions are going to say how many atoms of this and how many molecules of this. So these are atoms, and then when you stick them together, this is a molecule. So these are two oxygen atoms, but it's one oxygen molecule, one molecule of O2. I purposely cut them kind of messy because I don't want you to stress out about making them really pretty and making it so time consuming for yourself. It is a little easier if they're cut closer to the edge, but I just wanted to show you that it doesn't have to be beautiful. Okay, so here's an example of CO2, carbon dioxide, and here I made it right here. So these little circles, these little white circles are where they're supposed to Velcro together, but we're not doing that. And then H2O is going to be this. Here's O, oxygen, and 2 hydrogens. So these are going to be the reactants of photosynthesis, the ingredients of photosynthesis. So you're going to do 6 carbon dioxide and 6 water molecules. So here's a carbon dioxide and here's a water. You're going to take your atoms and you're going to put them together to make 6 carbon dioxide and 6 water. And then you're going to go ahead and submit that picture here. You can paste it in here, or you can submit it separately if you can't paste your picture. Okay, and then the question is, what are the reactants of photosynthesis? Well, it's already telling you these are the reactants. But if you're not sure, you can also go back and look here. These are the reactants, carbon dioxide and water. 6 of them. So then it's asking you, how many carbon atoms are in the reactants, how many hydrogen, and how many oxygen? Well, you're going to have 6 of these, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to count up how many carbon atoms you have. So here I have 1, 2, 3 carbon atoms, but if I had 6 carbon dioxides, then I would have 6 of them. Then you're going to count how many hydrogen atoms. Hydrogen is going to be in my waters. I'm going to have 6 of these waters. So each water is going to have 2. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just going to keep counting until I have all my 6 oxygens. How many oxygen atoms? This one, a lot of people are getting incorrect. So you have to count all the carbon dioxide, all the oxygens in the carbon dioxide, and all the oxygens in your waters. So if you have 6 of these, and if you have 6 of these, you're going to just count all the oxygen atoms, and you should get a number. Now this one is asking how many carbon dioxide molecules. So this is different. First, this question 8 is asking how many atoms, so how many individual oxygens and how many individual carbons. But this one is asking how many molecules of carbon dioxide and how many water molecules. So this is a water molecule, and this is a water molecule, and this is a carbon dioxide, this is a carbon dioxide. So you already know actually right here that you had 6 carbon dioxide molecules and 6 water molecules. So for question 9, you're just asking how many of these molecules, and for question 8, how many individual atoms of oxygen, carbon, and hydrogen do I have? Then you're going to go ahead and look at the products of photosynthesis. Now remember, the products of photosynthesis are going to be glucose and oxygen. There's one glucose, because there's no number in front of it, that means there's just one of them, and there's 6 oxygen. Oxygen is actually 2 oxygen together because we have to make sure that these bonds are connected. So you're going to make 6 of these oxygen, and you're going to make 1 of these glucose. And you're going to be like, how in the world do I make 1 of those glucoses? When glucose looks like this, okay? And all you have to do, it's not going to be pretty, but you're sort of copying, this diagram. So you're going to take 6 carbons and just kind of line them up with the dots. 1 oxygen is going to be double bonded with carbon. So you'll kind of have 2 of their dots bonded together. And then the rest of the carbons are all going to have 1 oxygen on them. So I just kind of stuck 1 oxygen. It doesn't matter if it's on this side or this side, but I try to copy this. And then each oxygen is going to have a hydrogen, except for this one. And then basically all the open circles left are going to have hydrogen. So I'm going to have hydrogen stuck to this oxygen, this oxygen, this oxygen, this oxygen, this oxygen, and then all the other corners of the carbon I'm going to throw in a hydrogen. So in this picture, in this box, you're going to be putting a picture of your 6 oxygens that you made, which should look like this. So 6 of these, okay? And then you're going to put in your glucose. And then it's asking you to put your energy ATP, which should not be there, but you can do that. Okay, so then what is required for photosynthesis to occur? That's right here. This is what's required: carbon dioxide, water, and actually sunlight. This should be over here. And then what are the products? Okay, so right here you just put the products: oxygen, glucose. And then now it's going to ask you the same questions: how many carbon atoms, how many hydrogen atoms, and how many oxygen atoms. You're just looking at your picture and you're just counting. How many carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so remember, in this picture you're going to have your glucose and you're going to have 6 oxygen. So here I have my glucose, and but the oxygen don't have any carbon, so I'm just counting those. How many hydrogen? I'm going to count all my little red ones, red atoms. How many oxygen? So a lot of people are putting 6 because they're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But actually, remember, there are 6 oxygen molecules as well. So there's 6 of these. So you need to count each one of these. Okay, and then what is the entire chemical equation for photosynthesis? It's already written up here. And then you're going to do cell respiration. Cell respiration, you already know, is the exact opposite. So you don't even have to redo your pictures. You're just taking the same, glucose and oxygen picture that you just posted up here, and you're putting it here. Okay. How many bonds can hydrogen form? How many bonds can oxygen and carbon? You just have to look at the little atoms. Hydrogen has one little circle, so it can only make one bond. Oxygen can make 2, and if you look at the carbon, carbon has 4 circles, so carbon can bond with make 4 bonds. Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and put in a picture of your 6 oxygen, your glucose, and your energy molecule, and you're going to put it right here. Okay, which is the same picture you just did. You're going to answer the questions. What are the reactants of cell respiration? Right here, these are the reactants. These are the products. How many atoms? You'll notice that you keep using the same number of carbon, oxygen, hydrogen for the products and the reactants. So this number should be exactly the same every time. The number of hydrogen atoms, oxygen atoms, and carbon atoms, because you shouldn't be having any atoms left over. So you're just rearranging the same atoms each time. And then how many molecules did you make? So here's 1 molecule of glucose, and then how many molecules of oxygen? And the answer is right up here. Okay, 6 molecules of oxygen. Then you're going to go ahead and do the products, which were the same 6 carbon dioxide and 6 water molecules that you took a picture of earlier. Those were the reactants for photosynthesis. Now these are the products of cell respiration. So you're just going to put that same picture here, and then you're going to answer those questions. Okay, hopefully that's more helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or meet me at my office hours.